Hello, this is Sara, Psychic Medium, and this is your weekly psychic tarot astrology for the week of the 12th to the 18th of October 2020. If you enjoy this vlog, please remember to like, share and subscribe. And if you'd like a private reading, then do go on down to the website www.saraperrypsychic.com and do check out the monthly subscription offer at $33 for a full reading, either audio, written, Skype, you name it. You can have it in any format. The normal price for that is $57. Okay, so you get quite a big discount and it will remain the same for 12 months. So you just sign up, pay 1 month, and you can take a reading within that month. It can be on relationship, career, past life. You can have just a therapy session if that's what you choose to do. And each month it can be different. So do go and check that out. And Otherwise, if you just like a random reading, a one-off, then there are other options there. So let's start with Aries and move through to Pisces. Everything is timestamped, so do check out your rising sign, moon sign, and your sun sign. So what have we got for Aries? So we've got a new beginning starting this week. We've got a new moon, and we've also got Mercury going retrograde. So I feel like the highlights of the new moon are slightly lessened. I don't mean that in a negative way. I just feel like the new beginnings that often we feel like starting around a new moon will be less vibrational because of that sense of retrograde energy that's going on. But what I'm being told for you, Aries, is, do you know yourself? Do you really, really, truly know yourself? Take the time this week to do so. When you do, you'll find the adjustment so much easier over the coming period. There's a lot of expansion. There's a new perspective to be had. By Thursday, something will be ended. There is a possibility to close a door that you have been preventing yourself from doing so for a long time. And I feel that this week could be the best time to do it. Something will urge you to do so. I'm also getting male influences, maybe a male giving you some advice, or maybe helping you look at it from a different viewpoint. The reason I say prevent is because I feel like it's either something to do with a financial security situation, as in it could be a job that you do which brings in a regular flow of money, or it could be a responsibility that you've been doing for a long time and you've wanted to keep it going because you've really enjoyed it, but you haven't got enough time now to continue it. It could be an emotional attachment that has been preventing you from closing the door. I don't feel like this is a relationship situation, as in walking away from a relationship, unless it is a long-term soul connection that you have been holding back from letting go of, just in case, one of these situations that you just really believe the person's coming back and you've been believing for the last 3 years, and something happens this week which opens your eyes to the fact that it really wasn't worth waiting for. Now, if that is the case, then whatever you do, don't start blaming yourself, because that isn't going to help you at all, okay? Just see it as a sign to close the door and to move on, because there is so much better coming in the next 3 months. Now, I feel like another situation around relationship could be an immature attitude, that you're closing the door on maybe a part of yourself. And I'm not saying everyone's immature out there, so please don't quote me, but it's that sense that it's long gone. It's time to grow up now. It's time to take stock of something. And maybe you've been holding on to your youth. And I think it's a great thing to be youthful in your mind and in your soul, and to not focus on age, but how you're feeling. I think that's great. What I'm saying is that sometimes it comes the time that we have to kind of take stock, take charge, and not allow other people to take that charge. It's like taking charge of your life and saying, I'm actually an independent person now, although I have people looking out for me and supporting me, as in family and maybe spouse or friends. I've maybe given them too much of the power. Now it's time for me to take it back because I just didn't realize I was strong enough or old enough, or like knowledgeable enough even. That's why I like the word grown up, because sometimes we just, if you're the youngest person in the family, you often always feel like the youngest person in the family, because somehow when you're all together, say you are like one of six, you probably get together on family gatherings, and you're the little one. It doesn't matter if you're 75, you're still going to be 10 years old in everybody else's eyes. Okay, so it's time to kind of, sometimes it's conditioning that creates this, and it's just the way we see it. It's not really necessarily how everybody sees it. Someone else will actually see you as an adult. They just, you're just the youngest person in the room. Now, there is a risk, I feel, in shutting this door as well. So there's a kind of, as much as you've been preventing it maybe because your connection with it is strong and your emotions are strong, with the person or a situation or just a part of your life. It also means that, again, if this is a financial situation, it could mean a risk to your purse strings. But what I'm going to tell you now is it won't be, okay? It's actually just going to open up more opportunities, because while you've been focusing on that thing, which you've seen as a regular income, it's only been a little trickle. But actually that time you took was preventing you from actually taking another opportunity that's just been waiting around the corner, which is lesser time and actually brings you more value and actually a lot more happiness, not just more money. So be open to shutting things down this week that only serve you in the way of safety in your head. Security as you see it, because you know it, because of the familiarity, and be ready to take that risk into, or I shouldn't use the word gamble, but it's that sense of the leap of faith, that's a better way of saying it, into something brand new, into pastures new, and into seeing a whole new outlook. It's great to stay safe because we know it, but it's not always good for us. So there's definitely progress this week. You may feel saddened by something which causes you to make the change and to bring something to an end. Or you may be sad to bring it to an end. That's okay. Just allow everything to flow, allow everything to move, and be open to creativity. Be open to what is out there, to the possibilities. Lift your vibration as high as you can. Be physical. Do some physical exercise, do something which inspires you, even if that's just cooking a meal. If you enjoy cooking but you're always in a rush to do it, then maybe take some time to create something out of nothing. Make it an adventure, make everything a project, and then you won't find yourself dwelling on stuff that has gone or is lost or you've missed out on, because there's so much more ahead of you. Taurus. Right, I've got a big turning coming this week, big new directions for you. And I want to say, let go of the fear, because you have definitely come to a junction or a crossroads in your life this week. It could come at any point, okay? It could come right at the beginning, the moment you step into Monday. You just come to this point, you wake up and you have this realization that enough is enough, something has to change. Or you come to a situation at work where you suddenly realize it's just not doing it for you anymore, or you're given some news which changes the way forward. It changes the plans. It means you have to change direction to reach your goal. There's a lot of speed around this change though, okay? I'm getting like a rush of energy, and it could be that you have to make up your mind very quickly. So this is why I'm saying it could come the moment you wake up in the morning on a Monday or early on in the week, because you could go to bed tonight if you're listening to this on Sunday and have just think, oh, here we go again, another week, off I go down the grind zone, and then suddenly you just wake up and you just feel completely different. And it just feels like it will either come in a realization of some kind, or a change will come in really, really fast, and you'll just kind of wake up, or you'll come to this, all of a sudden you'll come to this block or junction, should I say, rather than block, and you have to stop for a minute because you cannot keep going ahead on that same road. And you know, if it's something to do with career, it's like, well, you can either do A or B, and you've actually got a week to decide. But if you don't do it, you know, you've got to do something, because right now the situation you're in is discontinuing, you know. So it could be a situation at work where they say, right, I'm sorry, but your job, you know, maybe you've been part-time. Okay, I don't want to like put the fear of God into people thinking they're going to go to work and suddenly lose their jobs. But there are a lot of changes going on right now with this pandemic. And, you know, people, businesses are going down, you know, they're safeguarding themselves. You know, if you're a temporary person, a temporary asset, the likelihood of you becoming permanent may change. People are looking at doing things really, really differently. So you might get to work and they'll say, right, we'd love to keep you on, but you're going to have to, you know, you can't stand behind the bar anymore. You're going to go and have to wash up in the kitchen. And it is going to actually be a little bit less pay. Will that be okay for you? You know, but we don't really want to lose you, but we cannot continue this way. Now, this is up to you then. You can either walk away or you can continue down that road for a while. But I don't feel like you've got very long to make that decision, okay? That's why I'm getting that speed. But what I do see is that this crossroads is going to be good for you. So let's take away the equation that whatever you're offered is lesser, because actually I think it's going to be more positive. And if it was a lesser or what in your head it's a lesser opportunity, like, you know, some people think, oh, the kitchen's worse than the bar, or, you know, we all have different opinions of what is less. But as far as I'm concerned, the way I see it is, if you're happy and you're enjoying what you do, it doesn't matter where you are and what position. You can be just as happy serving behind a counter at a shop as you could be being the CEO of a company. You could be happy sweeping a street as much as you could be painting a picture. You know, it doesn't matter as long as you are happy doing what you do. And everybody has different fulfillment requirements. So that's the first thing to consider, because I do have value as an important thing here. I don't feel this is going to be about money gain necessarily, which will be positive, as in value. I feel it's going to be the fulfillment value and also inspiration. This is going to be big change though. And Spirit is saying to let go of any feelings that something is ending. All right. So if someone says, right, your position here is closed, but we're offering you this or this, and you've got a choice to go right or left, don't sit there and go, oh my God, my job's ended. Because then you're missing the point that you're being given two other options. And it's actually the universe's way of saying, but if you go down that road, you might start there, but actually during that other role, you're going to meet somebody. We've got it all set up. You're going to meet somebody that's either going to bring you the greatest love wish you've ever wanted, or is going to offer you another promotion in a different place completely, doing something different that you didn't even realise you had. Remember, we are in the universe's hands right now. The universe knows best. Except, well, the universe, that isn't the right thing to say. The universe has a bigger control, okay, over things, and knows what is good for you. So if you've asked for the best, then the universe will provide the best route for you to get to that. If you know you want to get from A to B and you know exactly what's at B, the universe will provide the opportunity for you to get to B. But at the same time, if that isn't really what your heart's desire, then it will shove you in the right direction so that your heart is alive. Because sometimes we believe we know what we want, but actually what we think we want isn't actually that good for us because we're looking at it from the wrong perspective. So maybe we're looking at the money gain rather than the heart gain. So connect with your heart and actually really be honest and forget about whether something's a demotion or it's a closure. Look at what you can gain from that. If you're offered lesser hours in a position, and I do feel this is going to be connected to career in some way for most of you, that you may have more time to pursue a project that you've been wanting to do or your own business entrepreneurial idea for a long time. And the money you're getting from this other thing is enough. Although you may see it as less, it is actually enough for you to do what you want to do. It's just that you would have wanted more backup. But it gives you more time to actually create what you're doing. Okay, so think about the positives. There is an agreement that will have to be made, and I do feel this is a whole new beginning opening up. And it will lead to another crossroad. So like I said, it's like you'll go down one road and then you'll meet another one, and that'll take you on a new direction. So this is a whole new adventure for you, Taurus. So let go. Travel light and allow yourself to be taken, or allow yourself to fall into these wonderful, wonderful streams of energy that are coming in. And see yourself flying, not floating, just flying and enjoying the view, because there's so much to see and there's so much more coming in for you that is really, really good. This is going to be a changing week, and it's going to be the opportunity that you have been looking for to make your life so much richer and so much better quality. Hello, Geminis. A big hello to Leslie if you're listening. Haven't spoken to you for a while, but do get in touch. Hope everything's good with you. And hello, all you other Geminis out there. Now, I do see someone sad around you. I don't feel it's you that's sad necessarily, except you may be feeling a little bit nostalgic this week. Like something has changed, but actually change is good. It's just that I feel like you're maybe grieving a little bit inside, but it's only a tiny bit. It's not a lot. There could be someone else that's feeling really sad around you and you feel sad for them, okay? It's like it has a little bit of a knock-on effect. But what I want you to do is, if it is someone else and they are kind of pulling you down with it and it's doing your head in, because at the moment the energy is quite heavy, is detach as much as you can. Step back. And if you are sad, yes, acknowledge your sadness, but at the same time, look at it from a higher perspective, look at it from a higher level. Don't allow yourself to dwell on it. It's really easy to acknowledge something and then begin dwelling. You know, it's like you step in the mud and you sink lower and lower and lower. Watch yourself, because this energy is so slow. It's going to be so changeable with Mercury going retrograde on top of Mars. It's like a double layer. And then you've got the new moon where, we want to be all like excited and, and move forwards and, have these new beginnings because we've come out of the full moon energy, that you're probably going to want, it's quite an anxious energy of wanting to start, but not actually having the motivation to do so. And then everything kind of going a bit haphazard and weird. Now, you're going to be very aware this week about what security means to you. What is the reality here? How much you have put in other people's hands. There's going to be quite a bit of self-reflection going on this week. And I do see you being aware of something that you're eating, something you're putting in your body that you suddenly doesn't taste very good. And it might be that it's been such a habit. It's like if you just love every night, you get your little bag of sweets out at night or your chocolates and you enjoy it. And it becomes, it may only be 2 or 3. But you're not even aware, you start looking forward to it, which is great. But then all of a sudden it becomes a bad taste in your mouth because you're realising that whatever that is actually causing you to think differently. It's affecting your mindset just subtly. But somehow it will occur to you because you will already be thinking, why do I get like this? Or why do I feel like this? Or am I feeling like this today? This sadness could just be a down day. I had this yesterday. Today I feel really up. So it's like up, down, but we're clearing still. Remember that. We're transforming. We're moving into a new vibration. So we need all the help we can get, especially how we live our lifestyles, what we eat, who we connect with, all of those things. It's really important. So whatever this is, it may not be necessarily something that you're actually eating. It could be somebody's energy you're digesting that is giving you a bad taste. And I can see you wanting to spit it out. It's like, and I'm getting something you maybe want to save. And when I see the spitting out, actually, this isn't good for me. I need to say something about this. I need to get this out of my system. But somehow it's kind of got caught. So a good cleanse and detox is in order. So if you get a chance to do that this week, have a couple of days, to eliminate some things out of your diet, or look at what might be causing a block or maybe causing a mood swing. All right, it seems to be quite important this week. There's a decision you're going to make, and I can see you flushing something down the loo. You know, it's almost like you're flushing it away, you're throwing it away, and you're saying, I'm not doing this anymore. This is going to be the trigger of a big ending, a whole new cycle. For some of you, it will be to do with career. I can see some people looking at paperwork, or, you know, it's something they do. Maybe they just, I feel this is more of a habit and a system that you work. You know, it could be that you get up every day and you write a list of what you've got to do, and then all of a sudden you wake up, you know, you're doing this list and you think, this isn't even for me. This is for everyone else. I'm actually organising everyone's lives. And while I'm doing this, I could be out there having a nice cup of tea, sitting on the terrace and reading a book. So it's this sense of, I'm not doing this anymore, because I've just noticed that everyone's just walked off and they've got all this time and they're sitting outside on the terrace reading their book. So this is a really big week of honesty and truth that is going to come out for you, realizations as well. I do see some lovely sentiments though, and this feeling of love from certain people, lovely things being said, just randomly being given a lovely compliment that will really mean a lot to you. And I can see gifts being given, physical gifts. Somebody thinking of you, you know, it's like I saw this in the charity shop, or I saw this the other day, or I found this while I was cleaning, and I just suddenly thought, oh my God, you'd love this. And that's a real feeling of like, oh, you know, I'm really blessed actually. I do have some good people around, and it's a way, see this as a message from the universe giving you gratitude. Being grateful for being the person you are, for standing strong, for being for serving, being honourable. And that actually it was worth it, because there are still rewards, you know, not all is not lost. And everything, you know, you have helped people more than you realise, even though you may have felt like that was a complete waste of time. I've just wasted all my time when I could be sitting on the terrace reading a book, you know. Yes, it might, whatever the bad taste you get this week, it's a wake-up call, it's a realisation, but with it will come a gift too. You know, if you're feeling like, I just feel like your angels are around, you're getting the support you want from a much higher place. And the fact that you've realised the bad taste is that somebody around you energetically or spiritually has awoken you, has changed the flavour all of a sudden, has changed where you're like, you know, your eye socket, so you're seeing it differently. All right, so see it as a blessing. See everything as a blessing this week. And just think about expansion. Think this is a chance for you to expand on ideas, expand your life, and to progress in the best way possible. Because now this thing has been addressed or eliminated. Now there is time and energy to move forward. Cancer. Hello, all you Cancers out there. Now, there is extra pennies this week, or extra value coming from the way you look at things. I feel this is to do with mindset. It's like suddenly you are understanding a connection, an important reason for being. You're putting 2 and 2 together, but you're also adding 5 and 6, and you're creating 10. And it's perfect. It's, you know, it's the perfect number or the perfect value. It doesn't have to actually be 10. You understand what I'm saying? It's, you're creating, you're understanding what makes you tick, or what makes a situation tick, and how to apply what you've got in the best way to give you the most value. And one of those perspectives and one of those things that you will realize is that freedom is more important, being free from a situation, which will help you close a door and end something. So it's understanding what you need to be free of. So say, for instance, you are trying to create the perfect recipe and you've been making it with 5 ingredients over and over again, and you keep adding different things. The answer is either to completely take all the ingredients out and free yourself from what's already there and just have a clean slate, or to take the ingredients out rather than add them. All right. So it's about release. It's about saying, no, I'm not going to use that anymore. And this could be, you followed a rule, you followed a condition, you've done what you were expected to do. And now it's time to eliminate that factor because it doesn't work for you. And that's the whole point why you couldn't shut something down, or you couldn't stop resisting something, because you weren't shifting in the right way. You couldn't understand how to make the shift because you were looking at the wrong thing. So this is a really important week that I feel clarification is coming in, and a sense of security in yourself, and understanding what security really means to you. There could be a position that comes in for you work-wise because you've walked away from a job rather than staying there and waiting for the job to come to you, when you actually realise the whole reason I'm not getting any offers is because I'm still stuck in this old energy. And I've been too afraid to move anywhere because I've been looking at this as security, when actually it's a really negative security. How is that secure? How is that safe? If something isn't fulfilling you, or it's causing you unhappiness and discomfort and pain, how can that be secure? You don't go and hide in a shelter from an air raid because it's uncomfortable. It's not going to be full of, you don't create a shelter made of cactuses and sharp knives and, you know what I mean, and full of water and freezing cold. You create a space to shelter you, to protect you, that feels warm and comfortable. So how can staying in a situation which in your eyes is secure, maybe financially, is actually, be comfortable and nice, because you're having to work so hard and stress out every time you go into this situation or deal with this person. Maybe it's a relationship we're talking about, because you're too afraid to leave, because you don't know what else is out there, and you don't want to be on your own, or you don't want to be without the money. But actually what you're doing is spending more to entertain yourself outside work, to make yourself feel better, and you're going shopping more, or you're going and getting drunk when you go out with a person to avoid actually having to deal with them, or you're trying to get out of the house, whatever. You're using more of your financial security to actually make yourself feel better, and in that way you're even less secure. So look at things. This is so important this week for you, to be looking from an abundant point of view. You may be afraid to make a change. It could just be as simple as making a change from moving from A to B, because in your mind you're thinking that the cost of the next place could be, you're already looking at the loss because you've got to pay out more. But what you're forgetting is that you've got more area to work with, and that means you could actually use that area to invest in something else and bring in more. So consider all the benefits. This is how you will come to the right ingredients, and look at what you've been working with for so long that really isn't serving you anymore. And like I say, this could be relationship, it could be career. There is a massive change of pattern coming for you. And I'm seeing two perspectives around, and one is loyalty. It's loyalty to the self. There's this sense that you've been feeling like the victim of stuff, and feeling like, well, I can't do this because of this. I can't do. Yeah, it's like saying, well, I can't get a job because of COVID. Well, you could work for yourself. In the time that you're not doing anything, you could be learning a skill. And then you could just, you can support yourself. That's like relying on somebody giving you something. It's like saying the world owes me. So this week, I feel that this is going to be such an important thing, of coming out of that place where you feel like you're the victim of circumstance or a situation, when actually you've always had the choice and you can do whatever you want. So think about what security means to you. What is going to bring you the best now? And look at the highest quality and value. and look at where you always visualize that quality. You know, it's like saying, well, if I've got a massive mansion and, you know, if I've got that, then I'm going to be happy and then I'll be free. Well, not if you've got to pay to actually the upkeep and everything else. You know, if all you're seeing is the mansion, if you're all on your own in the mansion and it's miles away from anywhere and you can't get anywhere, but you feel better because it's a mansion, okay? So consider where your mindset is and what you see, you vision as quality or high value, okay? And then kind of tick off and break it down and really see what is valuable there and what's most important. Hello Leos, welcome to the channel and happy weeks ahead. Okay, now there's a lot of positivity here for you. There's also endings as well, which I've seen in most of the readings. It seems like we are coming in, not only having a new moon, but we're also entering a new cycle. And I've got 2 plus signs here. One is be honest and true. And I feel like if you're going to put an idea out this week, then don't undervalue it. Don't cut the corners. Really give the whole picture. You know, really go into the inspiration. Don't be afraid to really go with it. You know, I feel like there could be an idea that you've got this week and you might just not want to tell the whole story, or you may be holding back for some reason because you think, well, if I give the whole thing, it might be taken, or, you know, or oh, people will think I'm silly, you know, that kind of thing. Somebody might ask for your opinion this week. It's really, really important because, you know, they say, well, what's your idea then? You know, you're saying you don't like this, so what's yours? And you're thinking, oh, well, you know, I could just like make it out, you know, just say what they want to hear. Don't say what you believe, okay? It's really important this week. I feel like it's going to pay off, and I think it's going to really, really set you off on as a path of independence that you've never known before, and it will happen quickly. So you could be asked really, really suddenly out of the blue something to put an idea ahead. I feel this is more about your truth. You know, somebody might say to you, what do you know, how do you really feel about me? And you've been wanting to say the truth for so long, but you haven't really had the chance because nobody was listening before. So I feel like if you do, even if it maybe come out, somebody else may take it as a negative thing, or you think they would, I feel it's actually going to free you, spur you forwards, push you forwards. And I think it's also going to resolve a battle, resolve a struggle for the other person and you, or a situation. This is a whole new cycle of focus. Spirit is saying to you this week, look at what you truly want. Look at what the most important goal is. Get rid of all the frill, because sometimes we frill things up or make them seem better again to save someone's feelings. Now, I don't think that you should be going out there having a go at everybody and telling them, you know, in a really aggressive way. You can still do something with love. But be honest, because I feel it will be, you know, it will be the best thing in the end. It may not be received well to start with, but you actually might be surprised. And I feel once you've done it, that will inspire you to be stronger in yourself and actually start believing in yourself more as well. There's a lot of support around you this week, a lot of strength coming in, and there is a big new change of direction in one area of your life. It's almost like you'll just come to, it's like an intuitional sense of it's time to change. No one's putting it in front of you. Nobody is forcing you to change direction. You will just feel it. And if you were to express that to someone else, you know, again, maybe it's you just get this intuitional idea and you think it's time to go. I just have to go. I've got to just change my life from, you know, from top to bottom, strip it clean and start again. Someone else may not get that, and you may not want to tell the whole, you know, really go into it. But I feel like you should. Again, I think you could inspire other people by what you're saying. Don't dumb it down. I think that's what Spirit is saying to you this week. Don't dumb anything down and trust that you are right. And if your intuition is telling you something, just trust that. It's like somebody saying, do you want to do this? And you're going, well, no. And they're going, why? And you say, because oh, blah, 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 you know, you make all these excuses where actually all you have to do sometimes is just say, I just don't feel like it. I'm not feeling it. It's not for me at this point. And that normally shuts people down. And if they ask you, just say, I'm just not. It's how I feel. My intuition is telling me to do this and I'm just going to listen to it. But I feel this is about you being independent in your thought this week, being the leader of your soul and listening to your soul needs and saying, this is what I don't have to explain myself. I don't have to justify anything. This is just how it is. There's going to be a lot of gossip around you as well as you will have the support and strength energetically and from your peers. Okay, so some people might not agree, but there will be others that do. Remember that. There's two armies here. You're not just like with one, it's not the world's against you. But people will talk. But again, this could be a test in itself where you can feel gossip happening. You're like, oh, do I doubt? I'm not seeing doubt here, to be honest. But, sometimes it can cause doubt. And I think this is about, keep going, keep focusing, know what you want and just go for it. You don't have to tell anyone. You don't have to, you don't, if you don't want to. But if someone asks, be honest. Hello, Virgo. Big shout out to Nikki. You're listening in. I hope everyone's good back there in England. And hello to all you other Virgos listening in. Now, we have 2 endings this week for you. And I'm getting a message, particularly a tried and tested method isn't working anymore, bin it. It's like keeping hold of an old dishcloth because you know where it is and it's just the only one there and you always use it. You always use that dishcloth with the blue bucket. Doesn't work anymore. It's run out. Its time's done. It's time to move on. There is a new idea forming. There's a new path forming for you, Virgos. And an important message is going to be written this week. It could be a challenge for you. All right. I feel that it could be you shutting something down, telling somebody it's over, saying you don't want to do something anymore, or maybe you're just writing it out for yourself because you need to end things in your head. Maybe you're writing a letter to the universe. It could be anything like that. It could be that you're receiving something, a message which feels like a challenge, or it challenges you somehow. I feel it will challenge your value. You'll question why someone isn't valuing you. You'll start thinking, actually, I'm worth more than that. That's where I'm getting from that point of view. And that will push you or trigger you to end something and start something fresh. It's like I'm seeing you turn a new page and going, right, okay, new page, new system. This is what we're going to do. That old dishcloth just isn't working more because it's just not wiping off the stains. I can't use this method of communication anymore. I can't use this place of work. I'm unable, let's change that word to unable. I'm unable to put up with this kind of disrespect anymore. Or this person talking to me this way. Because actually, I just don't feel valuable. And actually, I know I'm worth more than that. All right? So this is a new beginning about getting the balance. I feel like some of this could be to do with family, though, not just work. And about a sense of real security, where everybody is really themselves, really knows that they are protected and loved, and that you're all there for each other, Because there's sometimes, there are dysfunctional families. There's a lot of dysfunctional families. And sometimes one person in the family can feel devalued or be the person that's always waiting to get assistance, but it's always, the energy's always given to someone else, because they're the one that's always got the problems. Or it could be, you're dealing with something where everybody's just not communicating and everybody's being really selfish and they're not really helping each other, or they're just constantly making a mess of things when things could be a lot easier. They're using the same dishcloth to deal with things. And it's a similar pattern. I'm not seeing, there isn't what I call a change of pattern here. There's an ending and a new beginning, right? So this is about throwing away the old way, not even altering it to make it better, right? Because if you're altering the dishcloth, you might just wash it out or put it through the machine rather than actually throw it in a bin. And this is like, no, this just isn't working. You know, it's like saying, I'm in charge now. You've had your go. It doesn't work. We're going to change the chairman, okay? It's all change. You're going to be stronger in your approach. You may feel it may feel like a negative point of, you know, in your life where you think, I don't know if I can do this on my own. I'm not sure if I can do this. You know, you may question that for like a few minutes. But you'll come to a point anyway where something has got to be done. Something is going to be shown to you this week and a new approach is needed. A completely different direction. Now, I think 3 or 4 signs that I've said are crossroads and change the direction. I feel for you, this is about doing it on your own. It's like going solo. You know, I don't necessarily feel this is a relationship. I think this would be more to do with working partnerships. Or maybe it's just within a relationship where you're not listening to someone else anymore and it's not their rules, you're just changing the rules. And I'm seeing celebration around this. This could be that you make the decision during a celebration. Maybe you're doing all the work and everyone else is having a great time and you're pouring all the drinks and you think, hang on a minute, I haven't even had a chance to get changed yet. I've still got my old dishcloth. I'm still cleaning up. Still clearing up the mess when everyone's gone. I didn't even get a drink. Where's those sandwiches I made? I didn't even get offered one. Okay? So this is going to be a big, big change for you. We've got, like I said, there's 2 changes. One of them is actually eliminating something and one of them is creating a better atmosphere, a better ambience, a better balance. So we've got the way that you're doing things on 2 levels is changing. And there's just so much sunshine coming. And I feel like suddenly your pocket will be full of pennies rather than them falling out or falling away, because you will have had time to sew the pocket up. All right, think about it, because if you've been giving your time or allowing someone else to do all the, you know, be the ruler and do it all their way, or you're suddenly the dog's body all the time, you won't have time to do things for yourself, like sew up your pocket, and you wouldn't have lost that £10 or £50 note or $50 or whatever. Okay, so think about it. This is going to improve things. So let go of any fear of being left alone. Libra, hello. So we got a return from the past for you. Someone is coming back. And I feel like it could feel a bit like a disruption. Okay, so things could have been all lovely, all a bit balanced. And then somebody enters. It's like that unwanted visitor or somebody that you thought was gone, you know, wasn't going to come back, or you'd resolved it. The reason they're coming back is to show you it hasn't been resolved or that journey wasn't ended. Now, I don't mean, when I say disruptive, I don't think this is a negative thing, as this is somebody that's hurt you. I mean, maybe there was a disagreement. Maybe it was a bit upsetting because they just disappeared, or maybe it's just something that didn't pan out. It feels more like it didn't quite get done. It just didn't happen because maybe COVID happened, you know, and what was all exciting just before just didn't happen because it was restricted. And you probably just gave up on it. I mean, it's as basic, it's as simple as that. It's more the fact that, well, it's been long enough. I'm not going to, you know, obviously it just wasn't meant to be. That's the energy I'm getting around that. It's not this massive heartbreak, all right? So don't think that, you know, you've been waiting for the love of your life and then suddenly you thought, right, forget it, I'm going to marry this other guy. And then this person turns up at the wedding and you think, oh my God, that's disruptive. You know, it's not that kind of disruption. It's more like, oh, I thought I was done with that. Oh, okay. I had made a plan, but it can be changed, all right? It is coming back for resolve, but it's also to help you see things differently, because I think this is more about how things do change and how timing is so important. And that if it had begun, or whatever you'd done, or this situation, maybe it's just a situation returning, if you'd done it before, it wouldn't have worked. because maybe COVID happened. Simple as that. And you wouldn't have got what you could out of it. Or maybe you've grown, you've changed, you've become a better person, you're in a better place. You didn't realise, but you were actually grieving something at that point. And if you'd taken whatever that was on, or a person on, you couldn't have had the best time. It wouldn't have been the best way. It's like saying you can't, if you don't cook a cake properly, it's not going to taste cooked. It's not going to taste, you're not going to get the full experience. You're going to get a floppy experience. That's sounding dodgy. But, or you take a cake out of the oven too quickly and put it back, it can sink in the middle. It's that kind of energy that it doesn't really last long. If you don't put the lid on a jar and seal it properly, then it will go off quicker. So something wasn't right. Something was missing. But I feel that, it could, like I said, it could feel a little bit sort of unsettling and disruptive in the way that you'd already made a plan, But you know what? This is a real wake-up call that plans change. Now, I do see love letters, verses, connections from love. People maybe wanting to share their love for you. Maybe someone else is getting in touch, or maybe you are involved in a lovely relationship and it's just going to go up a notch, because I'm seeing a lot of loyalty, a lot of assistance as well. Someone coming in to help you when you really need it, when you've got a question and you're not quite sure what option to take. I feel like there's so much support here. And I think that's another thing, if somebody came back that you maybe had fallen out with and you hadn't quite resolved it, and when you saw them felt all wobbly, you'll see the network of people around you who want to support you. All right? So it could be just an unwanted visitor turning up. Maybe it's your ex and, it's the father or mother of your son or daughter, and they've just turned up at your birthday party or their birthday party, and you're really nervous about it because you never really talked about it beforehand, but everyone's there to support you. You'll find that you've got this network around you, and that will help you see things from a new point of view, because you'll see what you've built up in that time, that you weren't alone. So this is an important week for removing a challenge in your life, and that is all linked to perspective and how you've been seeing something for so long. Maybe this person is coming back with a situation to show you that love and support, and that you realise that actually they were behind you the whole time, but you never gave them the chance. Maybe you shut them out before they had the chance. But you weren't in your right mind, you weren't in the right place to actually talk things through. So this is going to be better now, because now you can see things from that person's viewpoint and you get it now. So massive, massive new beginning here and ending. But it's like, and this is the lovely thing, I feel like a wish is coming true with this. It's like this sense that your sadness is going to pay off. That actually your faith your faith paid off. That the good came. Karma was done. Justice was done. There's going to be so much room for expansion this week. So be creative. Get your ideas down on paper. Something will be revealed to you on a spiritual, energetic flow or vibration, which will show you how to expand an idea or how to move forward from a present restriction. There is more focus coming, so just trust, all right? Everything is a little bit topsy-turvy with all these retrogrades, but the focus is not too far away, and I do see an agreement coming. If you're waiting for a contract to be signed or you're waiting for that big opportunity, I feel it is coming in very, very soon. It's just on the horizon. So just once these murky clouds of retro have moved away, you're going to see that very, very clearly, and I feel it will come in very, very quickly. Hello, Scorpios, fellow Scorpios out there. Lovely to have you listening in today. Now, this week, I'm getting a very clear message, is don't waste your time, bide your time. So don't waste your time dwelling on something that didn't work, dwelling on somebody else's actions if they're negative, or questioning why someone would do that. Bide your time, because the clarity will come. And I feel like the word bide, I think I have to look up what actually it means, but I feel like it's kind of savor your time, savor it, know that it's coming, everything will be dealt with when it should be. There's going to be a few interactions this week that could be a little bit odd. People may misfire communication. You may misread something. This is to do with the retrogrades, specifically Mercury for you because it is in Scorpio. So you're going to be quite emotional this week. You may go really deep. You probably really be on a high vibration spiritually. So use it, rather than dwelling on the negatives, use it to connect with spirit. Go deep into your emotions and get them to work for you. Now, I feel like there's a bit of a creative battle here, or an opportunity that could be proving a struggle. It's kind of which way to go. And there's a feeling of like that maybe you've been let down by it. It started off as a great thing and it was really inspirational. Now it's feeling a bit like it's consuming you, or it didn't pan out, or what was offered isn't really being followed through. I think it's just a timing thing. If you were to move time on now to the end of November and you were doing exactly the same thing, you would have a completely different reaction. Now, if something is too much of a battle, it's not worth doing right now, okay? Like I say, if you're battling with what ifs, or why is this happening, or, why is this person doing this, why are you hurting me so much, because, again, you are going to feel really, really emotional with this new moon. You could be better served doing something that's going to lift your vibrations. So, being a water sign, if you're in a place where you can go swimming, then get in some water, get in a shower, go and have a nice luxurious bath. Connect with your emotions on in a soothing and healing way. There is going to be a revelation that is coming from further afield, which could have you questioning your own strength. Now, this could be an opportunity that comes in where you think, can I do this? Am I good enough? That kind of thing. Again, this is you going really deep again. And I feel if it's being offered to you, it's coming from something that someone's seen, or you've been, your work is starting to pay off, and, this is a wonderful opportunity. It's being offered because the person who is offering it can see you've got that ability. So don't put yourself down. Big yourself up. There's a lot of strength around this, and I do feel that there's travel around this week, or talk of travel, or talk of moving, of options. There seems to be, if it's not actual moving, it's movement of focus, where where your goals are. It's like you're maneuvering. I'm just seeing you moving them all around. You're making decisions on how best to progress, that kind of thing. There's going to be more details given to you if you take some time to analyze a habit, right? So if there's something that you are tempted by, maybe it's chocolate, wine, partying, maybe it's a habit where I feel like it's one of those kind of things, overeating, undereating, whatever. It's that kind of thing where you have a reaction, or you are addicted, it's that kind of thing. And this is a typical Scorpio thing, being addicted to something, it's like, I'm going to do it, you go in at full force and passion, even if it's not good for you sometimes. I feel if you go into details and really start pulling that apart this week, I think that you actually might be able to understand it better and realise how you've been allowing it to control you. You've been putting your power into that situation's hand, that thing's hand. Maybe it's to do with people that you hang about with, people that you put your trust in because you've always seen them as better than you, or you've just been so humble to the opportunity and full of gratitude, but not actually valued yourself in the meantime, why people are around you. There seems to be some kind of wake-up calls for everybody this week. But I feel for you, this is going in a really, you're connecting your emotional side. You're going into that emotional energy and starting to understand yourself more, or will have that opportunity. There's definitely expansion here, but you may not see it happening in the way that you'd like. Because everything is, again, you know, with Mercury jumping on top of Mars, oh my goodness, it's like a great big layer of another cake, isn't it? Great big thick piece of gatto, which is too big to eat, or, you know, after you've eaten half the rest of the cake. It's just too much, it's too heavy, you know. So you may feel really sluggish and not really can be bothered to even be motivated to take a certain step. So just take small bites. Do some self-reflection this week, detox, cleanse, look at your options, look at the positive options that you could make, and look at and see a battle for what it is. You know, if it's too much hard work, ask yourself what it's really giving you. And if it's really not giving you anything back, then stop. You know, this could be the week to close the door on something for good. There's a lot of passion around to be connected into, positive, passionate things. So focus on those. And look at the whole, you know, the big picture of a passion. You know, not just that addictive passion that you want to jump into just at that point to make yourself feel better. We're talking about the whole fulfilling, passionate energy that when you tap into it, it just gives you everything. And you want it to go on forever, you know, and it doesn't stop, because once that flow starts, you know, whenever you hit it, you don't get a come down, because it nurtures you. It doesn't take from you. These other things, these addictive passions, I call them, or temptations or habits, are the things that give you a little bit of a fix, and then it wears off, and then you come down and you've got to go back and look for it again. And because you come down, you want the thing again. All right. So this is going to be a good week for you to find peace of mind, because that is what it's all about. When you are calm, when you are grounded, when you feel happy and easy and things just flow, it's peaceful. You can still be passionate, you can still be happy, you can still be joyful. But everything's at peace when you're at peace, and everything just flows nicely. Hello, Sagittarius. So, got a lot of strength around you this week. And I feel like the energy is fast for you somehow. Although it feels, you know, it's sluggish, really, and vibrationally all over the world. You know, it's a planetary thing. For you, it's like you want to get on with something. You want to push forwards, and you are. And I feel the strength is around you to do that. Keep everything in order. Keep your space clear as much as you can. And I'm being told, don't overdo anything this week. As in, you can go at a speed, you can go in with vibrancy and passion and energy if that's how you feel. But don't carry too much while you're doing it. Make things simple. And actually, the simpler that you make them, the more speed you will have. Clear away the crusts off the bread. Okay? Cut the crusts off. Make it easier for yourself. Okay? Now, I don't think that's a bad thing to eat crusts, but, you know, when we're kids, you know, your parents cut the crusts off, don't they? It's easy to eat. So it's like Spirit is saying, make things small and dainty. When you're eating this week, particularly, have smaller meals, lighter meals. Maybe little and often rather than a great big heavy meal. Because I feel if you eat something that's very stodgy, or, you know, a great big plate of stuff, which, you know, is great, if you're really hungry, you will feel probably more tired afterwards and do less. So then everything will work at a heavier pace. So they're saying is lighten everything. Clear, and it's like I'm seeing desks, you know, keep everything clear around the desks. Not like OCD, but have a place for everything. And if there's two things in one place, then take one thing away and move it out. Find another place for it or eliminate it. Ask yourself, is it necessary? And focus. I feel like this is a bit of a mindful exercise for you as well this week. to keep your mind calm. But at the same time you're calm, you're moving more quickly through things. And I can see some of you doing like a general task because you've taken this advice and then looking at the clock and thinking, oh, I've got time to spare. I can do something I enjoy now. Now, there is going to be a revelation. There could be something that comes from, which is connected to travel or is coming from overseas, and it's going to be very, very fateful. I'm going to look into this a little bit more because I feel like I need some more clarification. Right, okay, it could be a disruption of plans, a big change. It is fateful. And I feel like if you've got the attitude that everything works to your advantage and in your favour, you'll know that it's been done that way for a reason. Now, you may react and go, oh my God, that's going to put me 3 days behind, or that's changed that, and now I've had all that worked out. And, you know, and again, this is the reason why you keep things simple. And know what you've got to do every day and prioritise. So now we're coming into Mercury retrograde this week, right? So this is a big one. If you're travelling, then it's important to be very clear with all your documents, and you know, you've either backed yourself up, you allow an extra hour to travel, you double check your travel plans, because right now flights are being changed every 5 minutes. So it's got nothing to do with Mercury retrograde, but I think with that on top of it, you know, it could be crazy. We haven't even gone into the retrograde yet, and already I'm finding, you know, my computers break, you know, everything, the networks are going down already. We're already in the pre-shadow phase. Okay, so if you are traveling this week, make sure that you have everything backed up. I mean, every sign should be listening to this, but I feel for you more than anything, because there is going to be a sudden change that actually will work in your favour, but it could feel very disruptive. It could feel like, you know, it could cause you to feel really angry. Remember, Mars is retrograde, so it could set you off. And, you know, and then if you've got too many bags to carry, remember, lighten the load, and everything's everywhere, and you can't find this and you can't find that. It's going to create more frustration and stress. So this is another reason for being simple. It could take you longer to board a plane because you've dropped something. You've got to go back and look for it, okay? So simplify everything. There is a massive breakthrough, and I feel that you will see that at a later date. And I am being given the 17th as the breakthrough. So it could be that something is changed until that date, or something is, maybe you're going, you know, maybe a flight is even done earlier. I mean, I had a flight that happened for me. And completely, the whole duration was changed. I mean, it just didn't work effectively. But, you know, saying that, it completely changed. It was out of my hands. So take charge in the way that you can by simplifying things and keep things in control. And I feel like things will get faster. There will be support around younger people. And I feel that they could give you some very wise words this week. Maybe your kids will say, hey, if you do this, mummy or daddy, you know, this could work. Or, you know, maybe you're a school teacher and one of the kids says something and you think, God, actually, that would have been a lot simpler. But you don't want to admit it, but, you know, they've given you that advice that you so clearly needed. But I also get this sense of playfulness. If you can be lighter about things, if you can keep in a joyful energy, you know, have some Spirit's saying, you know, play some music, have things light around you when you're cleaning, you know, when you're doing things, because everything could be a challenge this week with these planetary situations. You know, sometimes the easiest job can become complicated. So create the simplicity, you know, get rid of the hazards before you begin and have a clear head. Do some meditation before you start writing a letter or, you know, working on an important document, or having a really heavy phone call. Give yourself 20 minutes to yourself before you have to deal with a difficult client, you know, so that you have cleared your head first and you haven't just woken up in a fuzz. Set your alarm a little bit earlier this week so you have that time. Create it. Write a list of what you have to take if you're traveling so that you can refer to the list. And it's simple and you can just tick it off, all right? So this week is about simplifying to get more speed, and to see and to really keep an open and alternative perspective in your bag, all right? And something that can bring light and joy to your situation, that will make you smile. And actually probably being around younger people or children will really help, because their energy is infectious. So laugh as much as you can. Organise a play date with some friends, you know, just keep things as light as you can, as simple. Don't burden yourself with extra responsibilities, extra work, you know, trying to reorganise something before you clear it first. Clear out what you don't want, then the reorganisation will be simple. You can see exactly what you've got to play with then. Hello, Capricorn. So I see a lovely, lovely surprise for you this week. Something unexpected, some information coming to light, which is going to give you that new beginning you've been looking for, a fresh start, a fresh outlook, and it's going to give you a lot. It's going to bring strength to your life and to your situation. It's also going to open up a creative energy around you, opportunities to be more creative. If you're an artist, a musician, a performer of some kind, maybe a chef, you know, a painter, decorator, you know, you name it. I mean, there's lots and lots of creative trades, maybe a writer or a gardener, you know. Something could happen that's just some information. It's coming from some detail that you've missed, or that somebody gives you some information that, you know, maybe you've been thinking that a situation is never ending, you know, your life's never going to change, your luck's not going to change, and then suddenly someone says, oh, by the way, there's a job going down so-and-so, that person's just about to leave, and you go, oh my God, that's fantastic, and you run and you start, and you know, you have this opportunity fall into your lap. Something is, I feel like it's like a sense of completion this week for you, and that you will feel that things are beginning to pick up. Although the energy is quite slow still, planetary, some things will be speeding up for you. You know, you'll feel like you've crossed a bridge, of a massive challenging bridge that's been broken for ages, and you've been crossing this bridge for I don't know how long, and it's been such a fog in front of you, such a mist, you couldn't see the other side, and then suddenly everything could happen really quickly. You know, this opportunity comes, somebody gives you some information, it's just what you're looking for, and you can act on it. And again, this sense of everything finally coming together, and you can actually celebrate, you can finally detach and have some fun, you know. So this is great for you Capricorns. There's something fateful around a child or a younger member, somebody you know. I feel it's more likely to be a child, or maybe a student, or maybe a niece or nephew, not somebody that's like 4 years younger than you. We're talking 15, 20 years at least, okay? Something fateful happening, which is going to give you strength as well. This could be to do with the information you've been looking for. It could all be linked together, that maybe there's some good news and finally you can move on and you can celebrate and you can let go, all right? Or you can, you know, they get the job of their dreams and suddenly you think, right, great, I don't have to support them anymore. I can now detach from the situation. They're happy, off they go. You know, finally they're getting married. You know, it's that kind of thing. Because I feel like you can take a bit more of an independent path. You're just going to feel freer. So this is a really, really positive reading for you. There's energies around an Aquarius or air sign as well this week that could prove a lot of value for you. It could be somebody giving you some extra money, paying you something back. It could be a boss who is that sign, giving you a pay rise of some kind. It could be an investment paying off, or this opportunity that you're going towards is going to bring more money. But either way, you know, I feel like, yes, there's one challenge in the middle of the week that could have to be dealt with, but I feel really, when you look at the bigger picture, it's so small compared to the good and positive stuff. And remember, challenges are just given to us to overcome, because we have got the ability and the skill to overcome it, and from overcoming that challenge we will gain more knowledge. So just think that's just another step up. You know, it means it's the next thing. You know, you're being given more brownie points, you're being given more skills and more power to move forward so that you can take this road on your own. Important phone calls as well coming. I'm just going to clarify that for you. This is to do with love. Again, very fateful energy. Something could happen when you least expect it. Maybe this is the phone call giving you the information that you've wanted. Just unexpected, and there it is. It's amazing how miracles happen just when we want them. So have a great week, Capricorn. I think this could be brilliant for you. Aquarius. Hello, Aquarians. Now, this week it's all about divine timing, something coming to fruition. A tree is finally bearing fruit. Some things might bear thorns, but at least you know those thorns are there. They're obvious, okay? I feel like what I'm being shown is like a tree that has been half shooting out of the ground, or a plant that hasn't quite made it, to fruition. The leaves haven't formed, the spikes haven't formed, whatever it is, you don't really know what direction it's going in. Sometimes it looks like it's going to start flourishing, the next day it's kind of weeping again. And this to me is a pathway you've been following. It could be a goal you've been going towards that has it's not really giving you enough information. It's not giving you enough detail as to which direction it's going to take. And then this week, you start seeing one area really, really showing its truth, showing where it's at. And actually, it has been growing the whole time. It's just that it's been hidden from you. And this information is going to lift your vibration. It's going to help you become more innocent when it comes to reflecting upon things, as your outlook, more like a child, more playful, as if, when we think like a child, and I don't mean immaturely, we look at things with curiosity, with that innocence that anything is possible. You kind of make these choices and risks when you're a child because you just don't have the knowledge. And they're saying is, look at this as when you see what is forming, you'll realise that anything is possible, and that we don't have all the knowledge, and that we presume an awful lot. We often do think the worst, or because we can't see it, we believe that it's not going to happen. And I feel this is going to be a very, very important learning in divine timing at how things work and how things start knitting together. And it's like, you just haven't seen the full picture. Now, moving on from that, there is a workload or responsibility or something that you've been doing which needs to be lightened. I feel like you're not seeing it, and this is a different situation. I'm saying it's like you're not seeing maybe how much somebody is piling upon you or how much you're doing, and actually you don't have to do as much. Okay? Stop juggling so much. It's not a case of doing 20 jobs and then being late for all of them, or being tired and not doing them as well as you could. It's about doing one. Amalgamating them into one thing. Spirit is saying, and I've said this to, I think it was Sagittarius, simplify things. I feel for you, you're not seeing what you want to see, or you're not seeing the clarity in some cases because there's too much going on. You're seeing too much at once. You're looking at too many objectives or too many opinions. Maybe you're listening to too many opinions. Maybe you're just carrying too much of other people's stuff and projections at the moment. This isn't a good thing because you could miss important information that is going to help you. And I feel that this could, I said it's not really to do with the tree thing, but actually in effect it could be the fact that you haven't seen it growing. One of the reasons why it's been clouded is because you haven't been focusing in the right way. There's been too much stuff in front of it. There's all these weeds have been growing in front that you haven't actually seen the leaves that have been sprouting at the back because they've been covered up. So it's important to focus this week on the, to lighten the load. Lighten the load. Stop juggling so many things at once. If you're getting in a bit of a pickle about something, then drop one of the balls. because eventually you're going to have to anyway. And there's no room for this. If you want something new to come in and you're looking for love, or you're looking for, let's say looking for love, and you're dating 20 people, and you're asking about, or not 20 people, maybe that's a bit extreme, but maybe you've got 3 people you're interested on the go, but actually they're just there because you're trying to avoid the one that you like, and you're not really sure if that's going to progress. So you thought you'd bring in a few more, so you've got loads of options, but your heart's not in the other options. Then actually you're just blocking the view of the one that you could be putting the energy into. It just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it's not going to. And I don't mean dwell on something and, become so involved in something if, it clearly isn't happening. This is more like, maybe it's not going at the pace that you want. It's a slow burner, but it hasn't flourished yet. It hasn't had its day yet, or it's just not time. But if you really care about somebody or something, you're not going to get over it by dating loads of other people or wasting time with other people that are just that are blocking out that pain. Okay, you're not going to heal because you're just suppressing it, or you're just avoiding feeling. Now, there is some sudden change here. There's some release coming, and I feel like you're going to be given control, complete control. Somehow the universe is going to show you how to take charge, and there is an opportunity which is coming in near the end of the week, which is going to show you the loyalty in the people around you, or who is loyal to you. Okay? So abandon those things that really aren't working for you and your heart's not in. Clear the way. This is all about divine timing. Sometimes things don't work as quickly as we'd like. But if you're blocking what is right in front of your eyes, then you're not going to see the progress anyway. And you certainly won't see how far you've grown or the growth potential. So moving on to Pisces. So I'm seeing a trickster in the mists this week. I feel like you're going to be shown exactly who that is. Somebody's either been pulling your strings or influencing you, pushing you to do something you don't want. I feel there's an opportunity that could have been put on the table. It's like a big spreadsheet of wonderful flavours and pictures and lovely twinkly lights, and it all sounds so amazing. The package is wonderful, but is it for you? I feel like there's a part of you that just wants to remain where you are just for a little bit. And it's not because of comfort. It's just because you don't feel it's the right time. Listen to that. Your intuition is telling you. I feel like whoever is pushing you forwards is wanting you out the way because they want to either step into your shoes or they just want to not feel that they're worthless anymore. And it's not because you are telling them they're worthless or doing anything. They're the ones that feel it. Remember, we all feel how we feel. So if you're not ready to go forwards and it just doesn't feel right, and I don't mean through fear, all right, but if just something, sometimes something just doesn't sit right and you have this agonizing feeling in your belly and you're not really trusting what someone's saying, then listen to that. Okay, it doesn't matter if you haven't got all the facts at this stage. But this isn't a good time to be signing contracts anyway, unless you're absolutely sure. And double check all the small print, because we are we're going into Mercury retrograde this week, and this is a sure sign to check things. You may want to rush in because of that energy, that retrograde energy. Maybe you're feeling like, I just want something to happen. I really want something to move, and oh my God, this is an amazing thing. I should be really happy. Why aren't I? Why am I miserable? Why is my face not turning up? Your intuition is going to be really, really strong. Really, really strong. So take whatever paperwork or documentation you've got, take it away and give yourself time. And overnight, tell yourself that you are in charge of your own decisions. And just because you don't take one choice that's offered doesn't mean there aren't any more, because that's your fear. That if there's nothing, you just want to fill the space, it's like it's silent, so I've got to talk, it's that kind of thing. There's a new beginning around a situation around children. This could be that you find you're pregnant. Maybe there's a new start with one of your children that maybe you haven't had opportunities, you know, you felt at a loss with him, or, you know, you've fallen out, that kind of thing, or there's been miscommunication of some kind. I feel like there's a new start coming in. I do feel that this is to do with someone's stubbornness. It could be that you've not wanted to step up and say anything, or maybe they've just gone off in a drop, you know, and they haven't wanted to contact you. But it also could be a new beginning around a pregnancy. Now, the stubbornness that I'm seeing could be that someone else doesn't want it, or maybe you want to have another child. You want a fresh start with the kids, you know. There's definitely somebody trying to block you. But again, this could be the influence that you don't want. This could be somebody taking you away from that new opportunity. You see this is a perfect opportunity and they're trying to stop you from doing it because they don't want it, or they're not ready. This is a week to decide what is good for you. Really, really be honest with yourself. Be loyal to yourself and know that you have the control over what choices you make, regardless of what anybody else thinks. That your happiness is important. Now, I don't mean go and get pregnant and, you know, do that against someone's wishes. I don't think that's necessarily the most progressive way forwards. But if somebody isn't wanting to have a family with you and it's been your lifelong dream, and maybe they said they would and then they keep putting it off and being awkward, then maybe it's time to ask whether that person's right for you. What's the most important thing? Is it important for you? Is it something you can live without? So this is going to be an important week for you to be in your own power, to take charge of who you are. And if it means standing strong independently, then so be it. But again, don't be careful how you play it. Okay, take the best course of action that is going to bring you happiness. Like I said, don't kind of trick someone into something, because then you would be as bad as them. But I feel you're going to see it very clearly who is manipulating you this week, or who is playing a game. It's going to be shown to you. It could even be just something they say, just a little sentence, a few words, and you suddenly go, oh my God, you've been playing me. All right. So this is, even if it's not to do with having a baby, or, you know, it's not to do with one of your children, this could be a new start for you where you are feeling vulnerable like the child again, that you're starting again. You're having to go to school, the big school on your own. You're being left at the gates, that kind of thing. But it's going to bring you into a more spiritual path, and it's going to be so much more fulfilling. So trust your intuition. So thank you guys for all tuning in. If you'd like a private reading with me, just go to the website www.saraperrypsychic.com and do look at the monthly subscriptions. Very, very good deal, and it means you can get a regular reading every month for the same price. Take care for now. Bye.